All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is Sunday morning, August the 11th. Rise and shine. It is time for Coffee Talk. If you're new to this thing, I know during hurricane season, we get a lot of people checking us out. I'm a meteorologist in Central Florida. This is probably the most laid back venue of forecasting you'll ever see. Um, we talk about local Central Florida weather, we talk about the tropics, and we bust each other's chops quite a bit. So that's what we do. What do you do? How you do? Feel free to share with friends or family, all that fun stuff. Let's just start outside with a beautiful live look. See what's doing there. Of course, we've got a gorgeous start. By the way, you can see Invest 98 in the bottom left corner. We are going to talk a ton about that, certainly through Coffee Talk. But we got to get you started out the door. Disney Springs. That's beautiful. Looking over to Epcot. Very nice morning in the tourist district. Let's check out, see what's doing. The Orlando International Airport Tower cam. That's looking good there. Flights coming and going with no problems. Let's head over to downtown Orlando, see what's doing. Very, very nice. Like that for us. West 2 first warning live Doppler radar tower. I guess we're looking up toward Maitland. Some cool clouds there. I don't know. I'm not at work, so I don't know. I didn't see like the full purview of this. All right, New Smyrna Beach. I like that. Always one of my favorite shots. New Smyrna Beach, you are looking gorgeous this morning. Rise and shine, my friends. Let's head over to the Kennedy Space Center. There is a launch, just slipped a little bit. It's going to be in the 10 o'clock hour. We'll have the launch forecast for you coming up in just a couple of minutes. And last but not least, Port Canaveral in Brevard County. There's Wonder of the Seas on the right. We're looking live from Rusty's at the port. It's a beautiful morning. So I hope you're having a great start to the day in your home, in your neighborhood. First warning, live Doppler radar. Showing a fairly active radar actually over in the Tampa area. Let me just loop this, kind of see some rains coming in. Hopefully it's not going to look like that tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to go. My plan is to go and see, I'm going to take dad and go see my brother Frank for lunch. But if it's storming like this tomorrow, let me tap into the Tampa radar. Yeah, if it's storming like this tomorrow morning, probably not going to do that. So let's hope that that's not the case. But nevertheless, some storms over there in the Tampa area showing up on our Tampa radar, certainly showing up on our live radar as well. But we return back to the Central Florida view, and we're looking good around our area. No rain around town just yet. Temperatures out the door, upper 70s, lower 80s. 7 day forecast is going to look pretty similar to today's forecast. We have showers and storms. Frank says it's like a sun shower here. Let's check and see if everybody's VFR. If everybody's VFR, we're good. I'll check. Frank, hold on. Just for you. I'll stop what I'm doing. All right, everybody's VFR. That's fine. Clearwater's marginal. Yeah, we've got options. Sarasota, meanwhile, is low IFR. It's storming over there. 3/4 mile visibility. Yeah, that's a little rough. All right. Anyway, for this morning, West Coast rains. That'll all sneak inland through the day. And clearly, we'll get to another decent coverage of storms, a 60% coverage of showers and storms, high temperatures into the mid range of the 90s. Impact weather again because of heat advisories posted. Oh, love this humidity. Not for everybody. Central and eastern Marion County, Putnam, Flagler, St. John's, and points to the north. So because of that, feels like temperatures running 105 to 110. Would calling it impact weather. For the rest of us, though, it's going to be hot and then eventually getting into showers and storms. Daddy Shark says, look at this guy wearing his SpongeBob shirt. Am I wearing SpongeBob? I thought it was Bucky. Fun shirt day, fly day. I'm not flying today. I'm flying tomorrow, which means I'm going to have another fun shirt tomorrow. Ah, hopefully that's the goal. No, today we're doing something with the kids. So I figured I'd also wear a fun shirt because we're doing a kid activity. Anyway, all right. So let's take a look at Futurecast. I got to find another fun shirt for tomorrow. Let's see here. Let's start with our computer model data. All right. Here's Futurecast. Take us through the day today. See where those showers and storms are going. West Coast to start. Notice though, by about 1, 2 o'clock, things are going to start to get more and more widespread, right? Yeah, there's some heavier pockets of rain around 3, 4 p.m. Widespread showers and thunder showers around. All right, another decent coverage, much like yesterday. Had some nice soaking rains yesterday. We'll do the same kind of idea today, right? And then eventually everything wants to work over to the East Coast, much like it did yesterday. Had flood advisories posted, all that kind of fun stuff. All right, so that's for today. Let's do this for my own selfishness. I'm flying tomorrow. Gonna try and go see Frank. So let's just take a look and see. I'm just curious to see what Futurecast looks like for tomorrow. Yes, this is for me. I'm off work, so I'm not going to be in the computer much later. So this is about my shot. All right, losing the ticker box. What? Wrong one. Losing that box. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're looking good for a. Just want to get in a little early, and then it looks like as long. So that's 2 p.m. That's about when I'm thinking I'll be flying back from St. Pete to Sanford. So dodging some showers as long as I do it on the early side of 2. I don't want to be trying it at 3 because then I'm going to be having some fuddy-duddy clouds and rain around. So as long as I'm back in Sanford by like 2. All right. So Frank, you hear that? That's our mission tomorrow. Early lunch. Okay? That's Do we understand the assignment? All right. So that's a look at where we're at locally. All right. Sound good? Yes. It's so funny. I did that selfishly. We have the first day of school. Probably should talk a little bit about that. Yeah. First day of classes. Warm, muggy, but yeah, storms are going to be popping up for the afternoon. It's not just me. It's also you. I have to remember this. So anyway, yeah, it's going to get hot, hot, hot for that um, recess, but for the ride home, we're just going to have to watch for those showers and those thunder showers. All right. That's where we're at. 7-day forecast, my friends. Let's plan because it's back to work, back to school for so many, right? So we've got a decent coverage of storms today, even tomorrow. And then interestingly, it looks like the pattern is shifting a little bit from what we were looking at in the models yesterday. Rain chances dropping a little bit by late week. All right. Otherwise, yeah, just nice warm weather, even though the first day of school is tomorrow for so many. It looks kind of like a summer's pattern, right? Yeah. Um, Beautiful weather either way. Just kind of have to be set up for that. One thing that I didn't mention was that rocket launch today. SpaceX mentioned that they have slid the window back a little bit, 10:49 for a Starlink mission today. Forecast looks really, really great. Another backup opportunity at 10:59 if needed today, and if not, they'll slide it to tomorrow at 6:37. 90% chance of good weather. I have a feeling, barring technical issues, will be just good. All right. Sound good? I want to ride on a rocket ship. Yeah, you and me both. I'll settle for a couple of hours in a swimming pool, though. Good forecast for it today. Really and truly, just have to watch for those scattered showers and those thunder showers. Beach boating today, 1 to 2 for the nearshore waters, 2 to 3 offshore. Moderate rip current risk. All right. All right. So that's where we're at locally. Questions, comments, concerns before we move on and start discussing the tropics? Because I know so many people want to talk about the tropics. And I feel like that's when Coffee Talks viewership, and I do this whether there's 2 people in here or 2,000 people in here or 20,000 people in here. So it doesn't matter to me, but I do notice when there's tropical stuff, people are around. If you're new to Coffee Talk, I'll tell you this: my biggest hatred is hype. I'll show you data. I'll give you perspective with a scientific twist, maybe some snark and personality, and we can discuss. So just so that you know, that's kind of my approach on things. We have almost 1,000 people watching this morning, which is much higher than on a winter's day, when not many people are as dialed into the weather. And I get it. Look, I get it. Everybody jokes and says that they come for the forecast, but they stay for the snark. I'm not saying it's good. Yeah. Yukon says, hype. Let's hype up that e-ticket hurricane. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Debbie says, when have there ever been only two people here? Maybe at the beginning. Maybe at the beginning there were only two people. I don't know. Anyway, so I've been cycling it in the bottom left corner of your screen. Invest 98. You can see it smack dab at the center. I'm going to lose the inset box because if we're talking about it, you don't need like Inception stuff. All right, so Invest 98. It is that wave in the center of your screen. I'll zoom into it a little bit here. Still way, way, way out there. James says, let's hype up a cold front. Dude, I'm ready for that. I'm ready. Yeah. Linda says, so many people in there. I'm going to be going weekend only watching weekdays reruns because I'll be teaching. No, that's great though. That's great, Linda. That's my goodness, the most difficult job on the planet is teaching. Aside from being married to me, like Jeannie's got the worst gig in the world. Anyway, all right. Invest 98. Winds are 30. It's not a depression. It's not a storm. It's not a hurricane. That sort of thing. But we do start to see indications of, ready for your SAT word, tropical cyclogenesis. All right, let's look at the visible satellite loop. Remember, the sun's just coming up here, but it's been up for a few additional hours over the open Atlantic. And it has to go buffer. Eigewalt. All right, so there's a definitive swirl there. I mean, the storm system's looking decent, right? Let me change the color table on this just to really make it pop. Just a second. Properties, color table. That's the one. That it's just like a raw color table, but it gives it a better perspective. Yeah. So there's a definitive spin there. It's not organized just yet. It's on its way to trying to become it's a little engine that could, right? On the left side of your screen, those are the Windward Islands. On the right side of the screen, those are the Cabo Verde Islands, right? I keep losing the wrong layer. So we're out smack dab in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, okay? But it does want to try to develop. So let's go through the hits, runs, and errors. Tropical Wave Invest 98 with a high likelihood of developing over the next 2 days' time and the next 7 days' time. A 70% chance of forming short term, 90% chance of forming long term. All right. Now, a couple of things about this. What you're looking at, that red blob there, that is not like a cone, like what you would see if it was a tropical depression, tropical storm, or hurricane. What it is a window that the Hurricane Center says this is where we're watching for formation. Now, of course, the two of them go kind of hand in hand, but it's not just like a direct forecast cone, right? That's just the window. They think it's going to start to develop in this window. Now, I've seen some people posting things about it, and it's important to note that, like, until it really develops a circulation, it's just going to be too early to fully trust the models. So we'll have the data to look at, certainly, but it's important to know the models are only as good as kind of what they're seeing right now. So let's do a little bit of a deep dive here. Let's check out some of the tropical models. Got to find the buttons here. All right. So here's the tropical models. All right. The spaghetti models, as everybody loves to call them, fairly tightly packed in the short term. All right, so we know where it's going to go through about the next 5, 6, 7 days. After that, we have a pretty good idea that there's going to be a recurvature. The exact timing is up in the air. These are the tropical models. We can actually switch over and take a look at the global ensembles, which I love. All right, so here's the GFS ensembles. Admission, I have not seen these yet this morning. All right, so So based on timing, now if you see, notice that they're leaving a couple of L's behind. Those are ensemble members that do not develop this. Okay, the vast majority do, but for purposes of full transparency. That's 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Notice the vast majority of them are approaching the Windward Islands early Tuesday and awful close to Puerto Rico late Tuesday into Wednesday. So if you have friends or family in the Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico, just let them know they're getting some weather. Looking at like Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know when school starts for them, but there's that. Again, it's not anything hopefully scary. We'll look at the global models here shortly, but you know, there's that. Then a lot of the ensembles are around the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Lots of high terrain over the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Thus, not an ideal situation for tropical development and strengthening, which is okay. We don't want anything to get too strong. That's Wednesday. Then Thursday and Friday, kind of doing a bit of a recurvature. And, yesterday, I would say all of the ensembles were recurving. Today, I'd say 80% are recurving, but there's a small contingent kind of taking it off to the west. Um, you know, the nice thing, and we'll look at the ensembles in a different way as well, but the nice thing with ensembles is that you get a real transparent view of what's going on inside models. All right. Canadian ensembles. I don't know if we've configured this even for the storm yet or if they're running it. Let's just look. Invest 98. All right. So I don't see any Canadian ensembles, at least running in this system. Let's look at the European ensembles. Just a second. This is the part of Coffee Talk. If you're new to town, we make sausage here. Like if a graphic isn't done, I'm going to go in and make it. Nope, that's the Pacific one. Okay, all right. And no European. Okay, all right. So we'll look at the raw euro and all that fun stuff. Okay, all right. So to the raw model data we go. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. All right. So this is the raw GFS model. And what we're looking at is mean sea level pressure normalized anomaly. So in this case, the orange yellow shades that you're seeing, that's high pressure. The blues, the greens, the purples, like out there around the Windward Islands on 12Z, which is 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning, that's going to be low pressure. There's our little storm system. Okay? Okay. So, unless you live in Puerto Rico, then yes, this storm. Okay, bring it to me and I'll fix it. Thank you, buddy. Just a second. Just a second, everybody. Ba, 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 ba. All right, there you go, buddy. We don't do much screen time, but during coffee talk, we do. All right, close the door behind you, okay, buddy? Thank you. I love you. We didn't close it. Thank you, buddy. They think it's so cool to have the door closed and to sit right outside of my office like they're waiting for a meeting. It's hilarious. I can hear it. They're literally right there. Okay, anyway. All right, so there's our storm system. All right. According to the GFS, kind of curves through the Virgin Islands. That's going to be like 8 a.m. Wednesday, 2 p.m. Wednesday. And to give you an idea, what is that? A 991 low, 987 low. So it's developing. It's getting stronger. Hurricane. According to this, it would be wind. That would be about 86 mile per hour winds. All right. All right. All right, so from there, kind of recurving, staying safely away from us, but really strengthening. Was that 963, 958? What are you looking at for winds? I mean, that's 112 miles an hour there. So yeah, we're getting strong off of our shoreline. That would certainly pick up wind speeds around town. Make it breezy again, that sort of thing. Dan says, "Love a good fish storm." Oh man, so agree with you there. So agree with you there. Pressure normalized anomaly. All right. And then as that moves away, high pressure builds back in, and we are looking good. All right, so that's the GFS. Let's switch over to the European. All right, there's the storm system. The European brings it very near the Virgin Islands, through the Virgin Islands, north of Puerto Rico, as a like a sloppy depression, that sort of thing, and then kind of lifts to the north, and then from there, 985, 982 lifts it to the north as a hurricane. All right, so that's good. We'll switch over. Look at the Canadian. Da, 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 north of all the islands and then recurving. So all the models are trying to develop it and make it stronger. Thus, that would allow it to recurve pretty quickly, tap into that Coriolis force. No complaints here. Icon, since y'all like the icon, I don't really look at it too much. Super weak, though. Super weak. And there it is, kind of Turks and then lifting to the north. So, all right. All of these models are trying to do that. Let's look at the. I never look at this because I don't have like a track record of trust with it. But here's the European AI model, which just terrifies me because one day AI will come at us in Terminator form. You know what I mean? Come with me if you want to live, kind of stuff. All right. But the AI model, whatever that means, is recurving through. Linda's asking which model is usually more accurate. GFS is having its moment in time this year, but they look at all of them, get an idea. All right, let's look at the raw ensembles. GFS ensembles, yeah, recurving safely away from us like that. Okay, let's switch around. Let's look at the European ensembles. Recurving safely away. Now, I would just say, ensembles are great because they give you an idea, they give you a spread, right? So, like, pretty tightly packed around Puerto Rico, and then they start to spread. So the idea is the models know it's going to be around the Virgin Islands, around Puerto Rico, and then as that recurvature happens, could be as close as the Bahamas, could be as far as outside of Bermuda. So that right there, I think, gives you an idea of the kind of width of where we're looking at. And in terms of time frame, I'll back this up again. So it would be near the Virgin Islands. That's 2 a.m. Wednesday, August 14th, timestamp on the top right where it says valid. So it's Zulu time, universal coordinated time. So it'd be near the Turks, Caicos. That's Thursday. So that's 2 p.m. Thursday afternoon. And then east of us by like Friday, that's 2 a.m. Saturday. All right. So there you go. Yeah. So Eric, you don't think this is heading toward the west? Debbie's asking. Listen, this is the part of the pattern. This is the South Florida part of the pattern. If it stays away from us, it's going to do the recurvature, and I fully support that. Could it get closer to us? There's a lot of things. This is where everybody's going to start to ask things like, could it turn closer to us? Sure. Could I win the lottery today? Sure. Right? Like, models are only as good as what it is right now. And the reality, bottom left corner, it is just starting to develop. You see it there in that bottom corner. So because of that, models are going to flip flop. Flippy floppies, right? They're on a boat. So you have to understand that until it gets its act together, we're not going to get fantastic model data. We're going to get good model data, just not great model data. So the consensus among ensembles, the consensus among everything right now is good. If it were to take longer to develop, as my brother so aptly put, weaker goes west. If it wants to get stronger quicker, which is what most of these models are wanting, it's going to want to recurve, and that's fine. So we'll see. Look, we'll see. At the end of the day, more and more we're getting into the peak of hurricane season. We still have, like, in terms of volume, like 85% of the season yet to go. You know what I mean? Um, that's where we're at. We're just starting the uphill climb. So plenty of time to track storms, plenty of storms yet to track. But in terms of activity, there's our game in town, kind of in the central Atlantic. Yukon says if they create an AI meteorologist for Wesh, sorry, Eric and Tony, I vote for Dave Marsh AI. Look, I love Dave. We've had Dave on Coffee Talk. No flippies off the talk. You like that, Tammy Joe, with the Lonely Island reference? At least somebody got it. Like, I haven't had much coffee, but I feel like somebody should get the reference. Yukon says, no, we actually have about 60% of the days left. I'm talking activity, not days. Ah, climatological activity. That's what I'm. And by the way, just so that we all know the next name, Ernesto. And so we can all tease if we have friends named Ernesto, because that's what we do. Hold on one second. Invest comes out at 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. period, but it usually doesn't hit the computer system and the best track database until about 8:30 or so. All right, sorry. Cam asked a question. All right. Would love to see Dave again. I grew up watching him. Ryan, just if you Google Coffee Talk Dave Marsh, it's there. Wesh Coffee Talk Dave Marsh. I'm doing a quick Google. So yeah, I just did a quick Google search for you. All right, I did a quick Google search. Coffee Talk Dave Marsh. And hold on, because, we got to do the advertisements. I don't make any money on these ads. All right, we don't need to see me. But we interviewed Dave. This is a little while ago, but yeah, so we had Dave Marsh on Coffee Talk. So yeah, go check that out. Also, I'm looking at the temperature on the bottom. The temperature in Sanford on this date was 61. But yeah, so it was a great discussion. So anyway, just in chatting about things, we caught up with Dave Marsh. When was this? This was about a year ago. So yeah, we've had Dave on Coffee Talk. All right, let's see. So is there still a chance this thing could come into the Gulf? There's a chance anything happens. My snark is very real about all of that. But I would just say at this point, the consensus of the models try to recurve it up the East Coast. Yeah. Cindy says, toward the peak of the season, while the intensity shifts, do you expect one of the other models to start reading more accurately? Models are math equations. They're not perfect. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yukon, you're asking me what's the ace. All right, let me go. I didn't look it up beforehand, so let me check it out. Stand by. All right, so the ace currently 40.7 ace points or accumulated cyclonic energy points. So what's ACE? So Yukon asked about the ACE. So ACE stands for accumulated cyclonic energy. Essentially, it's kind of a measurement of energy used in the Atlantic basin. So for the year, it takes into account storm speed, storm intensity, storm duration, that sort of thing. So we are sitting today on 40.7 ACE points. Climatological average through today is 12.8 ACE points. So we are significantly ahead in terms of accumulated cyclonic energy. We are sitting at 4 named storms. The average through today, 3.5. So, yeah. All right. So there's that. Carol's asking, as it goes north, will it affect the Long Island area? So it's possible, right? Like, I'm just going to pull up some of these ensembles again, and let's do this. Let's just navigate through. But instead of that view, right? That's a great question. Instead of that view, let's go to the U.S. regions northeast. And I'm just going to. This is the European ensemble plot. So you can see kind of bottom right corner there, you see 964, 964, 959. So there are a few ensemble members that take it close-ish, right? The weaker ones take it closer to the shoreline, but there could be something, right? If we just look at the operational GFS, we'll just look at this together. Pressure, no, that's anomaly. All right. So this is the operational GFS, and you can kind of see it bottom right corner, staying well out to sea. If we look at the operational Euro, it's bottom right corner there, and then there's like some sort of a storm system that comes in from the west. So it doesn't look like at least operational models are wanting to do that. We'll see. There's so much that has to happen before we even have an idea of what we're looking at here, right? It's barely started to organize out in the open Atlantic, so that's where we're at. All right. What about waves behind Invest 98? Let's see. There were some. Let me turn the model data around. Ba, 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 ba. Oceanic, Atlantic Basin. We'll go back to the beginning. We'll switch over to the GFS. Making the sausage. All right. So, so you've got on the kind of left. You've got bottom left, just above where the word talk is. That's this system, Invest 98. Doing its thing, doing its thing, doing its thing. Sea of high pressure afterward. Doesn't look like much going on, right? Yeah, that's all we got. So at least for the next, through the end of August, looking like fairly quiet. All right. So that's that. Looks like there's only one game in town. Fine with me. All right. Could the Carolinas be affected? Sure. I mean, it's possible. Yeah. It's possible it's not. So let's just wait for this to really develop before we start going into eventualities. Right now, we're just waiting for something to form, and the numbers are high chance of formation. So there's that. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Chris, thank you, buddy. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, friends? That's all I got. That's all I got. That's where we are. Yeah. Hold on a second, Cam. Thanks for the shout out, Coffee Talk. I got you, girl, period. Have a wonderful, wonderful morning. Cam Tran, everybody. Consistency breeds confidence, Gabriella says. It's true. Hey, somebody's been watching. Somebody's been listening. I need more coffee, and I'm sure you do too. Yeah. I need to continue this coffee trend. Yeah. All right. All right. That's it. Sunday morning. Tomorrow, maybe doing coffee talk from the car, depending. I need to figure out from my brother and my father what the flying situation is, the timing and all that stuff, so that we can do it. Maybe we'll do it from the airport. The radar you're showing, I see something by Mexico. Is that something to? No, nothing to watch. Nothing to bother us. So watching from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico waiting. Yeah, just some rain. Just be ready for it, Cindy. Not Cindy, Lucy. Cindy's in Palm Bay. Lucy's in Puerto Rico. Yeah, just gonna have some rain there. All right. All right, people. Be good. Thank you so much. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I'll see you tomorrow morning for Coffee Talk. And for those with kiddos getting back to school, be ready for it. I can't believe it's tomorrow. May the first day be just the best ever. All right. Take care, y'all. See you tomorrow.